Welcome back to SOS. I'm Style Sergeant Badass. I just woke up. It's cold. Alright. We live in a cowardly world. Alright, so keep in mind. Alright, now the stories I tell you, or if any of it makes any sense to you, keep it for what it is. You know, it's just take it with a grain of salt. It's knowledge of one could save another, or could kill another, right? If you give bad advice or bad information. This is a prepper channel. I don't know if you guys know. I'm not going to just. I do one video per day. I keep it that way. I try to, and if any of it's cool with you, share it with your friends, wherever, if you learn something. The thing is that I don't continuously do like leather work and stuff like that. I have to space it out and do different things because I do a video per day. We do have a baby bug out bag coming. I think tomorrow is going to be the baby bug out bag video for those of you who have babies. We have emergency preparedness for babies, just so you know. I think Sippy Cup's doing that one. I'm not sure. It depends on how she feels when she gets back from the hospital. She works at the hospital, so I don't know where that's going to go. We'll see if she's got time. She's a pretty busy person. My parents are coming in today. Meemaw and Peepaw want to see the grandbabies, and so they're traveling here to see them. So they'll be here this afternoon, and it reminds me of stories. Like I take it back, you know what I mean? I go backwards a little bit. Sometimes when I think of stuff, I just randomly think of stuff. I've got a lot of experiences, and some people ask me weird questions. Yes, I still PT, I still do all that stuff. Just the other day I was at the gym and I actually wore green on green just to get a rise out of the vets that are there. There are vets at my gym, they work out there, and some of them are either prior service, Army or Navy. I mean, there's a few Navy cats in there. There's Marines that work out in there. Even the Marine recruiter for my area works out in there, and he gets a kick out of my my positive attitude. He likes it. He gets a kick out of it. But I even help with some of his, like, I talk to some of his pulleys sometimes. They're scared. They're going to boot camp for the first time and stuff. Sometimes I talk to those guys. Me and Sippy Cup train a lot when we have time. I have a lot of injuries, so I have to take it easy. The Marine Corps beat me up pretty good. I have spinal injuries, TBI and stuff like that. I don't know if you watched some of my other videos and seen some or heard some of the things I've said. I do have like a scar on my head. If you guys have noticed that, that's part of the TBI ordeal. Don't need to go into details about all that. The VA sort of takes care of me, I guess. They do, okay. We have one of the best VAs in my area where I'm at. They have a really high rating, so they're really good. They give me heads up, phone calls, stuff like that. They take good care of me, for the most part. It is what it is. It's the VA, right? Alright, for those of you who wanted to know. Alright, so my son is turning into one of the kids from, like, Sparta. Like from the movie 300. He is just transforming into something like that. And he takes care of his sisters. He keeps his finger on the pulse. He walks the line and checks on them. It's pretty funny. But the boy, sometimes I do a sort of a Marine Corps thing with him every now and then. I just go, boy, come here. Cometh here, boy. And he's like, Daddy! And he does this whole little warrior stance. And I've been teaching him karate lately. A lot of people would frown upon that. Why are you teaching your son karate? Well, look, we live in a cowardly world. I want him to be a protector. I want him to take care of your kids. I mean, it is what it is. And not every parent's going to teach their kids stuff. And you should. I highly recommend it. It's positive. It is very positive. It teaches leadership and skills. He's going to be in a leadership role, I'm assuming, with his attitude. Is very leadership-like. He does take care of his sisters, and that's very important. And he takes care of Mama, so that's always good. It's always good to see him trying to look after Mama. He doesn't look after me so much. Now, that's what the sisters are for. They always come to me. I swear, the girls follow me everywhere. If I'm down and out, the girls are the ones. Daddy, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. But that's just what it is. All right, so I got a friend, my little Spartan kid. Anyway, I've got a friend. He prior service Marine. He was also a cop. He was in law enforcement for a very long time. He got out of the Marine Corps, became a cop, and then afterwards he wanted to teach self-defense. So he has a dojo. He teaches martial arts, and he also teaches tactical training and concealed carry permits and all sorts of stuff. And he doesn't support me and the channel stuff, so I'm not going to be like, this isn't like an ad or anything. But anyways, he gives me good advice, and I asked him about. He sometimes has me talk at his dojo thing. He texts back and forth, and he tries to get me to come into the class and stuff. And I don't know. I kind of have my own thing, and he has his. He's really busy, but he's a super cool dude. But he has a really good advice. He's very, very wise, and I love having wise people around me. I love having people that are opinionated and voice their opinion. I don't get butt hurt and go cry in my truck about it. If I'm doing something wrong, I'd want to hear it. And it's like, if I sucked at it, I'd be like, I'd want to have another individual be like, you really suck at that. Don't ever do that again. That was horrible. And then I check Raj. I got it. I'll never do that again. So that's just what it is. But it's good to surround yourself with people like that are wise. But anyway, I asked him about my son, and I said, look, he's getting crazy. He's a boy, he's got a lot of energy, and I think his high energy would be great for classes, for either it be Taekwondo or karate. I'm starting him off in karate. That's what I'm teaching him now. I'm teaching personally, myself. Nothing rigorous, nothing crazy, no injuries type thing. You don't do that with your kids, right? So basically, I'm teaching him the fundamentals of it, you know what I mean? He's getting that, and he's getting that the return of a stance and things like that, like he should, and that's good. So he's doing the right thing, and he's listening, and that's very good. And it's good to teach them when they're young. Not only do I do flashcards with my kids of ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and all that stuff, and colors and shapes and numbers, all that trash. I also do other stuff with them as well, so that they learn and they're educated. Because we live in a cowardly world, and I want other kids that are around my kids to be safe or feel protected somewhat. You know what I mean? Anyways, but other parents, it would be nice if other parents did that. And this story has a meaning, and it goes somewhere else. I wanted to tell you another story that changed my life forever. All right. But my friend said, you do it. You teach him. And he's not ready for a class yet, to enter class. Wait till he's older. Wait till he's like 8 to 10 or something like that. And then go into that about 10 years old, 11 years old, something like that. There's an age criteria for that. And he said the best bet would be, you're trained, you're qualified, so you do it. And I said, all right, I'll do it. So that's what I do. And he gave me the advice on doing it. But it's the fundamentals. It's nothing crazy. Don't get confused about it. I teach him the fundamentals, and that's it. And that's what it would be good if more people were trained and qualified and they could do that, or if they knew people that were trained and qualified they could teach. You know what I mean? When I was 13, alright, I'm getting into that to tell you this. When I was 13 years old, I don't go too far back into my past too often, but I felt like telling you this story. I thought about it a few days ago. I was teaching, and this story came up. Alright, so I was 13. I was walking with a friend. Streets were dark. I was 13. I was very complacent. My situational awareness was very low as a 13-year-old. Go figure, right? A 13-year-old that doesn't have situational awareness. Alright, so we're walking along, and then this guy kind of approached us like from the movie Batman with the Joker. And he kind of had that Joker vibe to him, right? And you can imagine, you can put whatever words you want in between that, where you boys headed, and stuff like that. You can put whatever you want into that story. But it was a very bad moment for us, alright? It was a very scary moment, and it was a very bad moment. My friend ran away. The guy put a knife to my throat and wanted everything in my pocket. I had 50 cents change. I gave the guy 50 cents change, and I still had a knife to my throat. I was trying to grab my, I had a pocket knife at the time. I was trying to grab the pocket knife. Maybe I could stab him in the leg or something. I was thinking, how can I get out of this so I don't die, you know, as a 13-year-old? And not the smartest when you're 13, right? You know, you're not going to be in a lot of violent moments. All right. So a motorcycle approached us really fast, and kickstand down, the guy jumped off, and in a very testicular fortitude type manner, screamed at the guy in a very manly manner and said, get your hands off that boy. And I was praying, you know what I mean? I was praying, and God sent me an angel that day because he saved my life. The guy got off the motorcycle and ran over, and the guy ran off. And cops came later on, and they were just kind of like wanting to know what had happened, kind of thing. And we told them the story, and I got a chance to talk to the guy, and I said, "Man, you saved my life." I said, "I was praying there, and I said, and I got an angel, you know, and you saved my life." And he says, "You're lucky that I was on leave." And I said, "On leave?" And he said, he goes, "Yeah, I'm in the Army, and I'm stationed in Texas, and I'm home on leave right now visiting my family." So that gave me a different mindset, and I viewed the world in a totally different manner from that moment on. I viewed everything differently in a protective kind of way, and I distanced myself from people that were cowardly. I distanced myself from them. I didn't want to be around cowardly people at that point. And I wanted to join the military for that reason. I wanted to be around them. Maybe I could help, you know what I mean? So that's why I kind of joined the military at the point that I did. But I get people that tell me stuff, you know, I get the female version of Billy all the time, and I get like, "Why would you teach your kids to fight? Yeah, my son, because he wore a pink t-shirt in kindergarten, got a black eye, and blah, blah, blah." Look, lady, when I was in kindergarten, I got a black eye. I had a little black kid whoop my ass when I was in kindergarten, all right? Was it a bad thing? No, it wasn't. Was I supposed to get in a fight? No. Are we supposed to teach our kids to fight? No, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to teach your children to protect themselves, not to be this weak creature that gets beat up. Giving them a mindset and tools to utilize would be helpful, but not every parent's going to get the opportunity to be able to teach their kids like I teach mine. And roll back to that point that I just said that, okay? So keep in mind for all the liberals and, you know, the hippies that are watching my channel, if you do watch my channel, before you start doing your little keyboard monster and saying god-awful things, to keep that in mind. Not every child is going to be ready for that moment when it happens. I wasn't ready for that moment when it happened to me. I had a black eye. I came home. I had lost the fight. It wasn't the end of the world. I still lived. I didn't die. You know, I was still alive and kicking. But some people don't get the opportunity to stay alive and kicking. But there's something we need to know, is that we live in a cowardly world. And that cowardly world is, we don't, you have to harden your children just a little bit, okay? Not everything you do is going to be winning. You're not going to win at everything you do. I'm not winning all the time. That's, you know, but your kids are not going to win all the time. They're going to have to lose, and they're going to have to experience loss and losing things and getting their toys taken away from them and stuff like that. You have to stay engaged, and you can't keep your head in your phone while your kids are growing up and you're not there watching them and talking to them. Talking to them and making them understand things is good. You get the point. You get what I'm saying, right? I hope you do. I hope you get it. I've been in a lot of situations, and a lot of situations that I could have done things differently, and being the protector and trying to keep people safe around me. I've been in situations where I was walking to my Jeep. At one point in time, I owned a Jeep. I drive a Suburban now, you know what I mean, a 80s Suburban. But walking to my Jeep, and I had someone yelling at obscene things, and I didn't know. They wanted money is what it was. They wanted money, and they wanted to stop me to see if they could do something to me, pretty much. I briskly got in my Jeep, and locked the door. I kept my gun in the console. I kept my gun in the console. It was like 1 at night. I was just trying to get home, and I had my permit. I've always been a permit holder. I think for I don't know, about 14, 15 years, something like that. I think somewhere around there, I've been a permit holder. All right, I'm in different states. I've been a permit holder, so I know a lot about permits and how to carry, when to carry, what to carry, and yada yada yada. So I've taken several classes on it, and I'm very educated in that area. So that day I was keeping it in my center console, and it's one of those locking center consoles type things. But luckily I left it unlocked at that moment, and I was supposed to keep the gun on me at the time, but it was really late, and I was just trying to get home. And so it was kind of getting uncomfortable riding up on my hip when I was driving, so I took it out and I put it in the console. The guy approached the Jeep, and I'd already locked the door, and he was trying to rip the door off, and he was ripping the door off and stuff. And to be in the ready position, I didn't know where that was going to go because it looked like he was getting ready to bust my window out. So if you're in fear for your life, so you reach that different level, right? So I took the firearm out and I just racked it, and I made sure there was a round in the chamber. I didn't care if I ejected a round or not at that point. I just wanted to make sure if there was a round in the chamber. There wasn't, so I was smart-minded to do that. So we go back to our training, round in the chamber, and the guy had seen that I had grabbed my gun. Now he was afraid and he ran away. Now, does a presence of a gun scare anybody? No, that does not. It does not scare anybody for the presence of a gun, but your training and experience and the tactical ways that you deal with situations might. But I was between glass, the window of my Jeep and him, and my door was locked and he was still trying to rip it open. And I didn't know if he was going to bust the window open or not at that point. Dialing 911 when I can protect myself at that moment was far, far in between. Would I have still dialed 911? Yes, I would have. You know what I mean? I still would have dialed 911, but the thing is that I didn't know what was going to happen then at that moment. And within split seconds, in the middle of nowhere at Joe Schmo's gas station, how fast would I have been rescued? I don't know. But that it is a lesson learned, right? He ran away and I survived. All right. I was pumping gas one day, and I kept a Glock behind my back. It was a compensated Glock. Had the slits at the top. No big deal. But I'm pumping gas, and a guy approached me with a puffy jacket, and it looked like he had something under it. And I couldn't make it out. The guy was asking for money, and he says, "You don't understand me. You have money." I said, "I don't have any money." And he's like, "No, you don't understand me. You have money." And it got pretty violent from his voice. I started to slip up my back because I kept my gun behind me, and I started slipping my back just to be near my firearm, just to be near it. You know what I mean? Just I wanted to keep my hand a little bit closer to it, to where it was, but it was concealed. At some point, a cop car pulled up, and the guy took off running, and another cop car grabbed this guy. I had no idea what was going on. I was surrounded by cop cars, and there was a guy running away. And but the cop called me over, and he's like, "Hey, man, I told him I was a permit holder, and I had my firearm on me and stuff." And he's like, "Check my permit." And he's like, "Oh, okay, here you go, take it back." He goes, "Where was that headed?" And I said, "Man, this guy was getting pretty violent with me, and he wanted my change." And I told him I didn't have anything on me. And he says, "Man, it's a good thing you are a firearms holder, and that you are a permit holder, because that guy had a ball bat under his jacket, and he was getting ready to bonk you and take your money." And I'm like, "You're kidding." And he's like, "No, man, we've been following this guy for a while now." But yeah, that was a good situation right there. I was in the ready, but then I was rescued, right? That was one other story that I had. One where I was leaving these are good talks, I mean, good information for you guys, the situation that I've been in. I was leaving a circus, and we had goodies on us and snacks. We just left the Geedunk. We had some pokey bait from the Geedunk, from the circus, right? So we're walking back to the vehicle, and I had a Smith & Wesson It was a super compact. It was kind of like a bodyguard type thing, but it was a revolver. 5 shots, 357 Magnum or 38 Special. You can shoot your oar out of it. That's irrelevant, right? Crimson Trace laser. Tritium Night Sight. Anyway, irrelevant. Okay, all right. I was getting into the gun. I liked that gun a lot. Okay, I just wanted to tell you. I got some photos of it. One of my photos. Anyway, so I'm walking back to the vehicle. Very, very bad people in this parking facility. Only car left in the parking facility near my vehicle and my Jeep. All right, near my Jeep. I can't have a Jeep anymore because I have kids. All right, I would have a Jeep. I totally did the Jeep wave and everything. I was a Jeep guy all the way, but I can't have one anymore. Now I'm more like a Toyota Chevy kind of guy. Anyway, moving on. So I'm walking to the vehicle and they're bumping some music and there's like 6 of those dudes all chilling there, and I didn't know where it was going, but my tactical mindset came into play. Now, we were the only vehicle in the parking lot. They were the only vehicle in the parking lot. There's way more of them than us. My Marine buddy I had with me, we were on our little hey, let's go see the circus kind of thing. I want to pet a lion. You know how Marines think. All right, so I was going to try and ride an elephant or something, but I don't know. But I digress. All right, so I kept going, and I just said, "Hey, man, you like Jeeps, right?" And just kind of shooting the breeze. And he's like, "Man," he goes, "I love your Jeep." And I was like, "Dude, how about you drive?" And he's like, "Cool." And he took the keys, but my tactical mindset was me watching out for us. Me trying to unlock the doors, get the vehicle started, and get going and stuff. I kind of wanted to keep us safe. So I wanted to be the guy without any activities to do in the middle of that, so I could keep my eye out for the bad people. I didn't know if they were bad or not. They could have been just some cool dudes. Nothing happened. Nothing bad happened, but situational awareness kicked in. I didn't know what was going to play out from that, but I do know if you you dress like a criminal and smell like a criminal, you might be a criminal. But I'm not trying to profile people. I'm just saying that some people are not so nice. If you look like the Joker, you might be the Joker. I'm just saying. If I go out dressed like however, I mean, you never know who people are. You can become the gray man, or you can become whatever. You know what I mean? You can change your look and style to fit the mood or whatever, to save your life. Or the opposite of that, to be loud and flamboyant. You know what I mean? You could be loud and flamboyant. But to keep the situation cool down and safe, I let my friend drive, and we made it back safely. And that's just how it is. And I kept my eye out and kept my friend safe. And he got to drive. You know what I mean? And he got what he wanted, and I kept us safe. So that worked out right. Anyways, people still talk about me like John Wick. You walk into my house, you're walking into John Wick's house. I'm just letting people know. But the thing is, you have to stay prepared. I just want you people to stay prepared. The Babuka. What did they say? What did he say in that movie? He's the man you sent to kill the boogeyman. Anyway, I digress. Alright, I hope this helps. I hope this is good knowledge for you guys. There's just situations that I've been involved in. I don't want you to take it the wrong way or get upset. I just want you to be prepared. I want you to focus on your family, your children, children's children, all that stuff. You know what I mean? We don't all teach the same. We don't all share the same knowledge, and we don't all talk the same and walk the same. We're different types of walks of life, of all different shapes and sizes, right? Just saying. But anyway, I hope you all stay safe, and I hope you all stay prepared. This, like I said, this is my talking point, and I have to do that kind of in the middle of my gadgets and hoo-haws. I could get a tack pack and open a box of garbage for you every month, but I'm not. I don't have $59.99 a month to pay on garbage. If I did that, I would be like, I'd go to Walmart and get a bunch of trash and stuff it in a box, and I'd call it the Staff Sergeant Badass Mountaineer Bushcraft box, and I'd just start throwing junk on the table and be like, look what I bought, and Oh man, you don't want to see that stuff. I don't do a lot of gear reviews, obviously. I only do it if you if I get something that I think's awesome, I'll do it on the show and be like, hey dude, check this out, it's awesome. But yeah, I'd call like a Bic lighter like the Super Bushcraft lighter, and I'd put it in the box, you know, in a bottle of water, Super H2O, and just be like, oh man, he's got the Super H2O. I'm just kidding. I'm not making fun of people that do that stuff. Hey, I had a guy, he delivers my mail. He's like, use beard product. Dude, I never have people talk to me about beard stuff. But the guy's like, I use Just for Men because I get gray hairs. I'm like, he's like, he goes, man, I'm not even in my 30s yet, and I'm already getting gray hairs. Man, you probably worry too much. But anyway, he's like, my dad does the same thing. He's like, Just for Men. I'm like, I'm getting used to Tennessee accents. Moving back from California back to Tennessee, I'm still getting used to the accents. I noticed mine started coming back a lot. But yeah, super cool people here. I love it here. He's a super cool post guy. He delivers my mail. Sometimes we shoot the breeze. He's like, you know how to reload 300 blackout? I'm like, oh geez, you're one of those guys. I get so many conversations, and that would be a whole nother episode for a whole nother channel, right? Me going on the street talking to people like Mark Dice, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like Mark Dice walking around talking to people. What's the Revolutionary War, huh? Anyway, what's the color blue? I can count to the color blue. Anyways, I digress. Hey, I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Alright, share my videos, get me out there, get me seen. You're watching SOS. I am Staff Sergeant Badass. And remember, we live in a cowardly world. Keep your family safe. Take it easy.